And Mark Rogers TV is back with our college football predictions for 2017. If you have seen us in previous years, you know that our confidence picks hit right around 68% against the spread. So here are the winners straight up and against the line. We are 4-0 to start the season, 2-2 against the spread, with Ohio State, Oklahoma State, Wisconsin, and Washington as top 25 teams winning on the opening weekend on Thursday and Friday. I took Indiana plus the 21, and that looked really good for about 3.5 quarters until the Buckeyes put it in cruise control in the fourth. Oklahoma State minus 21. They covered against Tulane. Wisconsin covered the 23 against Utah State. Made me look good there, but Washington could not cover against Rutgers. Okay, here we go. Here are your winners and then your games against the spread, and listen up for those confidence picks. Again, check out previous videos from previous years for the confidence picks to check out my track record on confidence picks, and there are 3 against the spread. Okay, your big winners, no line on these games. Miami defeats Bethune-Cookman. We've got South Florida over Stony Brook, of course, and the other one, Kansas State over Central Arkansas. Those are for just record's sakes. We pick all the top 25 games. All right, Clemson at home against Kent State, and the Tigers awaiting the Auburn Tigers next week. Dispose of Kent State. Yes, it's a tough line at 39.5, especially when you're breaking in a new quarterback, but too many playmakers and too many defensive turnovers for Clemson turn this into a big-time rout. Think like 52-6. Clemson covers 39.5. Difficult selection here with Penn State and Akron. And if you've seen my picks in the past, you know that I don't like the heavy favorites. I don't like the big point spreads, period. Anything over 3 touchdowns, and you're basically trying to project who's going to be on the field in the fourth quarter, and if the coaches are going to pack it in, run the football, or if they're going to go for the jugular and work on the passing game and put up more points. Penn State covers 30.5 against Akron. Again, stay far away. Texas, Maryland. Confidence pick, first one of the year. Maryland covers 19. That's way too much. I know that they're traveling nearly cross-country, and all the hype and the attention's on the Texas talent finally getting a head coach that can lead them to the promised land in the Big 12 in Tom Herman. But DJ Durkin is a fine football coach himself. He has the Maryland program headed in the right direction, and that is just way too many points, even at home, even with a more talented roster top to bottom, for a first-year head coach with question marks at quarterback, although we expect Shane Buechele to start. Maryland plus the 19 against Texas. Longhorns win the game at home. Take Maryland plus the 19. All right, North Carolina State, South Carolina. Been talking this one up all week. If you have yet to see our previews, please check them out with Will Gunter from 107.5 The Game there in South Carolina. Gamecocks getting 5 in this one. Yes, I like North Carolina State to win. I think it's a toss-up, though. I like what South Carolina is doing. I like their potential on offense. The defense is young and inexperienced in spots, but Sky Moore is back at linebacker, so take South Carolina plus the 5 points. NC State ekes out a close win, should be a good one. Take the Gamecocks in a confidence pick plus the 5. All right, we've got Florida, Michigan. Whoo-wee! All right, I have liked Florida from the start in this game. I don't know why, and I really don't think that missing the playmaking ability of Antonio Callaway and Jordan Scarlett is going to hurt that much. Those are 2 areas in which, even though they're high-profile positions, people look at the running backs and the wide receivers. Florida would much more miss one of its key offensive linemen in particular. Felipe Franks at quarterback leads Florida to an improbable win against Michigan as a 4.5-point underdog. So take Florida plus the 4.5 points against Michigan. This one was the most difficult game I had to choose this weekend because this is a toss-up. Catch Michigan now before all that young talent that has little starting experience takes hold in the next 3 to 4 weeks. All right, Notre Dame Temple. Owls still with some good talent left behind by Matt Rule. Cover the 18.5 points at South Bend. Notre Dame wins a close game against Temple. Take the 18.5 points. USC Western Michigan at the Coliseum. No PJ Fleck, but he has recruited the top class in the MAC 3 consecutive years. Yes, USC is loaded, but they are working on a number of issues, including field goal kicking. So they may miss a few field goals and help out the spread here. Take Western Michigan plus 27.5 points. USC wins comfortably. Georgia App State, Jacob Eason. You know that I have predicted the Bulldogs to win the SEC Eastern Division, and they get off to a good start. Not a rout any way, shape, or form. Think 38-21. But the Bulldogs do cover the spread against App State minus the 14. All right, K-State, Central Arkansas. We covered Auburn and Georgia Southern. Yes, the Tigers have a nice season and the fighting chance possibly to upset Alabama down the line in the SEC Western Division, but take Georgia Southern plus the 34. Too many points against the Auburn Tigers. Of course, War Eagle wins the game. Louisville, Purdue, neutral site game at Indianapolis. I'm really excited to see what Jeff Brom can do in West Lafayette, but he is just getting started. David Blouse, a fine quarterback who throws a lot of interceptions at times, though. Louisville, too fast, too talented. And, of course, they've got the Heisman Trophy winner who is going to break big plays in this one. It could stay close for quite a long time, and Louisville still cover the spread, which they will. Cardinals minus 25 over the Boilers. LSU-BYU, bingo, confidence pick. All right, the LSU Tigers win in New Orleans, but BYU is a very accomplished football team with a veteran quarterback in Tanner Mangum. I like BYU against the big boys here. They typically hold it close, and they will against a not necessarily dynamic, explosive offense. So LSU wins a bit of a slugfest of sorts. Let's say LSU wins this game by 10 to 12 points. I like BYU plus the 15. LSU with superior talent wins by 10 to 12 points. So take BYU in a confidence pick plus the 15 points. And finally, all factors point to an Alabama win. The Florida State issues along the offensive line, issues at linebacker with Matthew Thomas, the most talented Seminole linebacker on and off the field this week with personal issues. Florida State missing all of its main wide receivers. Nooney Murray, though, of course, coming on hot down the stretch for the Noles in 2016, specifically in the Orange Bowl against Michigan. Cam Akers, Jaquez Patrick. Akers, just a freshman in his first game against the Alabama defense. Too much to expect of him. All points toward Alabama winning this game. I'm stubborn here. I have loved Florida State to pull off the upset the entire offseason. I've been thinking Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. I have both of these teams making it to the college football playoff along with Ohio State and Oklahoma State. Florida State defeats Alabama 34-31. So take the Noles plus the 7. Those are my picks for week 1 right here. Now need your comments on Mark Rogers TV.